PewPewNationTV, welcome back, guys. Armando here with you again today. Glad to have you guys here. Today, we are going to be doing my personal reaction to the movie Sound of Freedom, which I just saw a couple days ago. Okay, I got to tell you, very, very powerful film. I'm going to give you today the pros and the cons, if you can believe it or not, but it may not be what you think. Okay. Sound of Freedom was a film that was actually about 5 years ago, was a Fox project. Okay. Disney came along after that and they went ahead and bought the film, and Disney turned around and they put it on the shelf and they left it there, I believe, for like a few years. Angelstudios came along and they got a hold of the film and decided to move forward with the project with a lot of help through crowdfunding, private donations and stuff like that, to generate revenue to be able for them to buy screen time in the theaters, here in the nation, of course, and in some countries around the world. This project was something that basically kind of caught my interest, if you will, in a lot of ways. All right. Those of you out there that are familiar with this film know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. It's something that nobody wants to talk about. Okay. But it needs to be talked about, which is the kids and what's happening with them. But anyway, if you haven't seen the film yet, I highly encourage you to go and see it. Okay. It is worth every penny. Angelstudios actually did something that was absolutely nuts, kicking this project off the ground, and that was the Pay It Forward program. And you can go to angelstudios.com. You can click on Sound of Freedom, and you can find out about the Pay It Forward program. And this was basically something that was sheer genius. Okay. To go ahead and enable, people that are struggling, with hard times and stuff like that today. Now, I am going to be debunking some myths out there about this film. Basically, me talking with people in my inner circle and outside of my circle, especially from the women, okay, that had a lot of concerns. So I'm just going to go over a list here. First off the bat, this movie is rated PG-13. It is not a rated R film. Okay, it's PG-13, meaning it's suitable for all audiences. All right, if you've got preteens, young teens, teenagers, adults, I'm telling you, it is very, very suitable for all audiences. All right, the movie is impactful. Okay, it is very impactful. There are scenes in this movie where you suspect and you see graphic things about to happen, and they take you. Alejandro did a great job. Producer and director of the movie did an excellent job of taking the audience to the edge. Okay. And then it stops when you think something horrible and graphic is about to happen. And he leaves the after of it, okay, if you will, to the audience imagination. So you can draw your own conclusions. So it is suitable. All right. So if you're having any reservations out there about seeing it because it's too graphic, trust me, it's not. Go see it. You need to see it, and you need to tell a friend about it. All right. And if you know people, like, again, the Pay It Forward program, if you know people out there that are struggling, they're going through hard times right now, go to angelstudios.com. There's links in the description. Okay. And get a ticket for them, but you got to go see it. That's if you have any interest in what's going on with the kids today, which, quite frankly, you'd be a dumbass, if you didn't have one, especially if you're a parent. Just my opinion. So that's number one debunked. Okay. The second thing is, there were a lot of questions as to, where this film actually was made. Well, I can tell you that the majority of this film was actually shot in Cartagena, Colombia. And, some of the scenes in this movie were shot in Calixto, California, where Tim Ballard worked as a DHS agent. And the scenes were shot actually at the port of entry where he worked. Okay. Which is something to me that was very interesting, because if you guys remember, the old 007 James Bond films, they were genius at what they did, because they actually went on location, right? So if the story took place in France, well, they shot in France. If the story took place in Scotland, well, they went to Scotland, right? And instead of doing all this, in the studio, fake props and stuff like that. No, Sound of Freedom actually was shot in that type of format. So the production, the acting, on location, of course, was just insane. It was epic. It was very, very well done, well produced, and based on a true story, of course. So I mean, come on. I mean, Tim Ballard, that guy is just a hero, in my opinion, from the acts that he did, to rescue kids. All right. Jim Caviezel, what can I say? Passion of the Christ, Count of Monte Cristo, Thin Blue Line. His name speaks for itself, and he's got a lot of hate out there. I get that. Okay. But he did a real spectacular job, playing Tim Ballard in this movie. So that's another plus. One really good plus here is, in the beginning, the goal in ticket sales for this movie was 2 million tickets for 2 million kids, right? And a lot of stress was involved in the beginning of, oh my God, how are we going to do this? This is something that nobody wanted to talk about in the industry. This is something that was not promoted by the industry. There was a lot of hate against this movie because of the contents of this movie and what they were talking about, right? It's like, we don't want to talk about this. All right. So, and there were a lot of players and a lot of factors at play here that did not want people to see this film, obviously, because of the storyline. So the goal was 2 million tickets for 2 million kids. Okay. I can tell you, as of this recording today, I looked at the numbers at angelstudios.com, and it's mind blowing. Okay. 3.8 plus million tickets sold. 3.8 million plus sold. Number one movie in America. Okay. Number one movie. It beat out Indiana Jones on July 4th 5 times over. 5 times over. Now, why was July 4th so important? July 4th was very important because obviously the significance of July 4th and what it means to the country. So they wanted to release this film on that day, and they knew what they were going up against. They knew that they were going up against Indiana Jones. They knew they were going to have to compete with Mission Impossible, and no hatred against Tom Cruise. I think it's going to be a fabulous movie, and I hope he does really good with it. Okay. And again, nothing bad or any hate, towards Indiana Jones. I actually enjoyed that movie when the original one came out. Right. So no hatred there whatsoever. But this film actually did very, very well, and it just kicked Indiana Jones in the ass as far as, viewings and as far as sales were concerned. However, the crazy part about this is the mainstream media gave it little to no coverage of the number one movie in the USA. All right. Crickets, almost nothing. I believe there is a certain cable news outlet that maybe gave it 5 seconds of airtime. Okay, starts with the letter F. I'll let you fill in the blanks on that one, which I thought was pretty fucked up, in my opinion. But anyway, it is what it is. Like I said, the powers that be don't want people to watch this movie. So those are the pros for it. Now, there are some cons, but not what you're thinking. The cons are not about the movie. They're not. It's about the theaters. Okay. And I could have added some clips here to show you actual video footage of people out there that had a negative experience in the theaters in their cities or their towns, of this movie. But I'll let you do your own research and look for it, because trust me, they're out there and there's a lot of them. I've seen them, but that's not what this video is about. this video is about my reaction to this movie, but I just had to put this in there as a public service announcement to my audience, PewPewNationTV, right? Because that's what I do. So here's what I found. The videos that I have seen of people that have gone to see this movie experienced air conditioning outages inside their theaters to the point where it was so hot. There's one video out there that's going a little crazy right now. I believe it was a TikTok. And it shows a gal with her girlfriends, that went to go see the movie, and the air conditioner was turned off inside their theater. It worked outside in the main lobby, worked in the restrooms, worked at the candy kiosk, if you will. No issues there. But inside the theater, it was hot as hell. The funny part is that theater refunded everybody's money for their tickets in that theater. Okay. And they apologized. They said it was some sort of issues going on with the air conditioning, which it could have been. I mean, and okay, so they refunded their money. Okay, well, you know what? Hey, good on them. But that wasn't the mission, in my opinion. Okay, they did not want you to see this movie. They wanted to make it uncomfortable for you. So people got up and they left. All right, right? We don't want you to see it. Now, there are many other reviews and many other videos floating around out there on the internet of the same stories, okay, of air conditioning not being turned on inside these movie theaters. Now, like I said, I went and I saw the movie, okay, a couple days ago, and I went to an IMAX theater, right? Huge screens, incredible audio performance in an IMAX. You guys know that. So I went ahead and I purchased my tickets, and I took my son with me, right? So we show up at the theater. Of course, packed house, right? For this, and it was an afternoon viewing. Okay, it was literally middle of the afternoon. It's 97 degrees outside at that time where I live, which is like, it's crazy, man. It's summer, right? It's just how it is. We go in, we sit down. Kickoff time for the movie was right around 2:40, I believe. After, the usual fluff that the theater gives you of, upcoming previews, commercials, all that garbage, it literally took 40 minutes, okay, for the actual film to start. And I was like, why is this taking so long? This is just crazy. Here's the funny part, okay? It wasn't unbearably hot inside this IMAX theater, okay? It wasn't. Okay. It was warm. It was actually quite warm, but it wasn't, warm enough where you were uncomfortable. Okay. So that wasn't an issue, right? No one was complaining. Everything was fine, right? Now, during the previews and during the commercial, everything is going fantastic, right? Screen, picture, everything is good. We had perfect seats. We were sitting not in the middle of the theater. We were like 3 rows up, but we were in the center. And, the audio is like, IMAX, man, the audio is like insane, right? I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be great, right? Until the movie started. When the movie started, the audio was so poor. The audio level was so low. I had to really, really focus my vision, not only on the screen, but my hearing also as well, just to be able to understand and listen to what the hell they were talking about. All right. Now, can you imagine being in an IMAX theater and the audio sucks? I mean, come on, man. I love audio. I do this. Okay. I know what shitty audio sounds like. This audio was horrible. It was just too damn low. You could hear a pin drop in this theater. Nobody's talking. No one's saying anything because they're focusing on listening to the movie. It got so bad that to the point one of the ushers happened to be coming up and down the aisles. I got his attention. And I'm like, hey, man, can you hear this? And he goes, yeah, well, it's okay. And I'm like, okay, I don't think it's loud enough. And as a matter of fact, just before I flag this guy down to talk to him, I start listening to like thunder, like actual thunder, like there's a massive thunderstorm going on outside and I can hear it inside the theater. And I'm like, shit, that must be one hell of a storm. So of course, I crack open my phone, I'm looking at my weather app. There's not a cloud in the sky. And then I focus a little bit more on this noise that keeps bleeding into the theater. All right. And I'm like, son of a bitch. It was Indiana Jones, which was playing in the theater next to me. Okay. Because my kid tells me, it says, yeah, they're Indiana Jones is playing next door. Maybe we can catch that later. Right. Just before. And I'm like, oh shit. That movie is bleeding over. Their audio is bleeding into this theater. And this is IMAX, man. You got soundproofing and you got all kinds of barriers everywhere. And that shit is not supposed to happen. That's when I flag down to Usher. Usher tells me, yeah, they're having technical difficulties. And I go, really? Technical difficulties? And those technical difficulties are only happening inside this theater where Sound of Freedom is playing. Because obviously Indiana Jones, that theater next door, is not having audio issues because I can fucking hear that movie in here. And it's not the movie I paid to watch. The guy had no answer for me. So again, really didn't have air conditioning problems, but I had audio problems. And if you guys know me and you've seen my show before, okay, I'm freaking anal as hell when it comes to audio and video stuff quality. I just am. It drives me nuts. But anyway, so where am I going with this? The other side does not want you to see this film. The industry does not want you to see this film for obvious reasons, okay? And I have to stay hush tube friendly here, if you guys know what I mean, okay? Because they just won't. They don't want you to see it, all right? For obvious reasons, again, okay? Because of the storyline. Other people were saying that, you know, it's a religious film. No, it's not. Well, I'll debunk that one too. They mentioned the word G-O-D, okay, in the film twice. That's it. I'm sorry. You can watch a Tarantino film, okay, that drops the G-O-D word numerous times in the film, but that's not a religious film. Again, my opinion. So leave me some comments down below if you have not seen this film yet, or if you have seen the film and if you experienced any abnormalities, okay, in your theater viewing. I'd love to know, because maybe it was just me, but like I said, there's too many videos out there of people complaining about this. But anyway, I just thought I'd come by here today and just drop that little nugget on you and just tell you it is a great film, very well done. It's shattering box office records all over the place, but you'll never hear about it. Internationally, in some countries, it is doing very well. Also, there are people out there in some countries that are dying to see it, that reach out to me through the channel, and they're wanting to see it, but it's just not available there yet. We're hoping that eventually it will trickle into their markets and they'll have the ability to, you know, see this fantastic, well-made film, again, without any pride or prejudice, you know, involved, because it really doesn't need to be. You know, it's about the kids. I highly recommend it. If I had to rate this movie from, you know, 1 to 10, it's definitely a 10. I encourage you to go see it. So that's it. So if you guys are getting value, you see this on the ticker on the bottom there. If you guys are getting value out of this video and you love this reaction and you want to see some more film reactions, not that I do these all the time, but when I notice a film is worth doing, I will bring it to you and I'll react on it. Leave some comments down below, but most importantly, like, share, and subscribe. Okay, there's a lot of stuff coming down. Good news coming to the channel. I'll be dropping announcements pretty soon. You can follow me on Discord. There's descriptions down below. In the descriptions, you can find, you know, links where you can find me on all the socials out there. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video today. Glad to see you guys are here. Thank you, because the studio audiences love it too. And we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Thanks everyone for watching today. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Most importantly of all, make sure that you click the activation bell down below, okay, to get notification on future videos. Make sure you head on over and check out Jeff at Freedom to Think and give him a checkout, if you will. All right. It's got great music video reactions that are just spot on, and you may see me there from time to time also as well. He'll greatly appreciate a sub also, by the way. Subscribe to his channel. Very important to help this guy out. He's on a march to get up to 100,000 subs, and he's on his way. See you on the next one. Take care.